Hello and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Tyler Haskins, joined alongside Matthew Coronado. Matt, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Tyler. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, Matt, what do we have to look forward to this week?
This week, Tyler, the men's and women's teams both had two games to play. The men took on number 21 ranked Wisconsin, as well as they were on the road versus Minnesota, trying to snap that 10-plus game losing streak that they've been on. And then the women also playing Wisconsin at home, and then they're on the road against Illinois. So those are the highlights that we have coming up for you.
Sounds great, Matt. Let's get right into the women's highlights.
24th ranked Northwestern taking on the Wisconsin Badgers from Wells Ryan Arena. Cats wearing the pink uniforms, they looked good and they played even better. Opening quarter, Sydney Hilliard driving for Wisconsin, kicks it to Tara Stefaka in the corner. She hits the three. A few seconds later, Sydney Wood with the steal, hits it to Jordan Hamilton, pump fake, gets the layup to go. Here in the second, Estella Moskow with the three for Wisconsin. Here, Veronica Burton late in the second quarter, in trouble, kicks it to Lindsey Pulliam. She pulls up and hits the jumper. Cats up 17 at the half. Late third quarter, Sydney Hilliard trying to get her team back into it, driving down the baseline, flips it up, gets it to go. But here comes all reliable. Who but Veronica Burton in the corner, knocks down the three. Wisconsin still driving. It's Pospilasova hits the shot. But Northwestern too much. Burton drives, kicks it to Paige Mott, who gets the layup. Northwestern wins by 13. Sweeps Wisconsin on the season. Picks up their 10th win in Big Ten play.
The Wildcats are on the road against the Fighting Illini in State Farm Center in Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, their second to last game of the season, starting it off early in the first quarter. It's Miles getting the and one to go for Illinois. They were off to a hot start. This three from Amusin is good. She had 15 points on the night, sharing that lead scorer role with Jada Peebles. But wait, Lauren Satterwhite from the corner for the Wildcats. She gets the offense going. Again, now from the right wing, Satterwhite. Yes, it'll be good. She had 9 points on the night off the bench. A good night for her. Veronica Burton to the left, scooping and scoring. The Cats are up by 8 at halftime. Lindsey Pulliam from the free throw line. That's her signature shot. You can't stop it. But Illinois still trying to stay in this game. They get it out to Amusin, and she hits a three. Illinois will hit a bevy of threes in this fourth quarter to try to get themselves back in the game. But ultimately, it will not be enough. They will lose this game 67-61. And the Wildcats will play Maryland in their final game, and now we have Lawrence Price and Davis Johnson to break down the Wildcats women's basketball week.
And joining me back on this show is fellow Northwestern News Network sports member Lawrence Price. Lawrence, are you ready to talk some men's basketball?
I am. Thank you for having me, Davis. Really happy to be here.
And unlike most weeks, we have some fresh material to talk about for the men's basketball team, obviously, since they beat the Minnesota and Golden Gophers. And Lawrence, that goes right into my first question. What made the difference in that game and allowed Northwestern to snap their 13-game losing streak?
Yeah, Davis. 13-game losing streak, that's a big number on Northwestern's head, but it was great to see them get over that. And I think there were a lot of difference makers in that game. One, Northwestern went on a 12-0 run in the second half, something we usually don't see from them, but actually the opposing team in most of those games, especially during this losing streak. Minnesota was up 31-25 after the first half. Great job by Northwestern to coming back. But also we got to think about Minnesota was missing their starting center, Liam Robbins, with a sprained ankle. He's their second leading scorer. And also their starting guard, Gabe Kalsher, who is out with a broken finger. So I think that really played into the hands of Northwestern winning. But also Northwestern did a great job of defending the three. They've done it all season. They're fourth in the Big Ten on opposing three-point field goals. But they limited Minnesota to shooting 15% from the three, which is crazy because you look at it, Northwestern is 12th in opposing field goals, which is a crazy drastic difference between the two. And also, I just wanted to spit out one fact. Northwestern, in all the 13-game losing streaks they've lost, they've lost the rebounding battle except one game. And that one game that was against Minnesota. They won the rebounding battle 37-33. And that's really just been their kryptonite all season. I mean, they rank last in offensive boards, 11th in defensive boards. So that was really good to see them crash the boards. And also, of course, I mean, when you look at the stats, you look straight to Boo Buie's name. I mean, he had 25 points in this game. He had 9 points against Illinois 2 games ago. 19 against Wisconsin a game ago. So you could just see the build up. So that was great to see him getting back on his role, because I mean, the last time Boo Buie scored double-digit points was a month ago against Penn State. So that was great to see him get it going. And that was another difference maker, I think, in that game.
And that just segues right into my next question. Obviously, throughout this long losing streak in Big Ten play, Boo Buie has been struggling offensively, to put it nicely. He's been ineffective, inefficient. Against Wisconsin, he had 19 points. And against Minnesota, he had 25 points, including 12 of 12 from the free throw line. What has allowed Boo Buie to break out from his offensive slump and become the main producer for the Northwestern Wildcats?
Well, I think it really comes down to him letting the game come to him. I mean, we saw him go to the line. He went 12 for 12 from the free throw line against Minnesota. That's where a lot of his points came from. And I think him being able to take his time, getting a good shot and a high percentage shot at that every time. I think Chris Collins, or head coach Chris Collins, took him out of the starting lineup since, between the Purdue game second half and until the Wisconsin game, to let Buie get his shot back, collect himself. And I mean, we've seen Boo Buie do this before. I mean, he's had games where he's just dominated, but at the same time, we've seen it where we ask, where did he go? I mean, I think in the Big Ten, you need a dominant point guard to be successful. In the Big Ten, I think we see that with a lot of the really good dominant teams in the Big Ten. So I think if Boo Buie can shine down the stretch, then you always have a good chance of winning a game.
And let's focus more on Chris Collins. For him, you finally got a win in 2021, but there's not very many games left in the regular season before you hit the Big Ten tournament. If you're Chris Collins, what has got to be the message for his team in order to finish the season on a high note?
Well, Coach Collins, he did say in his post-game press conference after Wisconsin that he felt like they played sloppy, which they did. But, they turned it around against Minnesota. And I think the key really is just playing their brand of basketball with confidence, like we saw early on in the season against Michigan State and Ohio State. And, of course, like you said, the games, there's only 2 games left before Big Ten play, and those are 2 winnable games. I mean, you got Maryland and you got Nebraska. So you really just want to finish strong. And looking at the roster, they don't have any seniors on the roster. I mean, you're most likely going to have the same group of guys coming back next year. So it's really just, you really just want to focus on building on what you have and preparing for the future.
Yeah. So while a strong finish may not mean much for this year, a strong finish would certainly be a building block for next year's prospective future for the Northwestern Wildcats. Thank you, Lawrence, for joining me on today's show. Matthew and Tyler, back to you guys. Looking to snap what has now become a 12-game losing streak, the Northwestern Wildcats take on the Wisconsin Badgers in Evanston, looking to split the season series as they lost to Wisconsin earlier in the year. Let's get into the game. Boo Buie from the corner drains a triple. He scored 7 points for Northwestern on the game and led them with 19 points. And now Northwestern and Wisconsin locked in defensive battle early. Ty Berry, he's a certified shooter. He drills the triple. Northwestern have 3 there. But Wisconsin would go on a bit of a run to end the first half, including a 3 from Micah Potter over Ryan Young. He would score 19 points, 8 rebounds. Wisconsin would lead by 10 at the half. And now Northwestern down double digits in the second half. Pete Nance finds a cutting Robbie Barron, who finishes the layup over Micah Potter. Northwestern cuts the lead down to 10. But here, Wisconsin would play 2 stringent defense on Northwestern. Northwestern just went and scored enough baskets in this game, including the steal by Tyler Wall and the nice layup finish by freshman Jonathan Davis. And this is the kind of night it was for Wisconsin. Tyler Wall banks in the triple. He gets the lucky bounce. And now the icing on the cake, Brad Davison, he takes a 3 over Anthony Gaines. Splash. Wisconsin up 18 at that point. And Northwestern really wouldn't have a chance to come back. Northwestern falls to Wisconsin 68-51, loses both games against the Badgers on the year, and loses their 13th straight game. Let's get right into Thursday's action. Northwestern takes on the Minnesota Golden Gophers in Minneapolis. Minnesota is a bit hampered in this game. They're missing two of their top 3 starters, And Northwestern got off to a terrible start in this game. They only scored 3 points in the first 12 minutes. Nice step back from Marcus Carr, the star point guard from Minnesota. He would have over 20 points and 7 assists on the game. But Northwestern would come back to tie the game against the Golden Gophers. Miller Kopp drains a triple to tie the game at 19. He would have 15 points for Northwestern. But Minnesota would take a 7-point lead as the half wound down, including a tough layup here from Trey Williamson over Robbie Barron. Minnesota would lead by 6 at half. But Boo Buie from deep. Got it! Northwestern takes the lead on a big run to start the second half. He's feeling it. He would score 25 points in the game, including 12 of 12 from the free throw line. And Ryan Young backs down Williamson. Splits the double team. Isn't going to be denied. Gets the and one to go. Northwestern's fired up. They can smell blood in this game. But Minnesota again come back and take the lead. Marcus Carr, coast to coast. Gets the layup to go over Ryan Young and the foul. He's a truly special point guard. But now crunch time. Miller Kopp, sidestep three over Troy Williamson. Got it! Northwestern takes the lead with 2 minutes left. And now crunch time. Northwestern at 4. Boo Buie! Dagger! He led Northwestern, like I said, with 25 points. And that would do it. Northwestern finally gets its first win in 2021 and snaps its 13-game losing streak in Big Ten play and gets their 4th Big Ten win of the year against the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week on Basketball Recap. Matt, what do we have to look forward to next week?
Next week, Tyler, both the men's and women's teams are both taking on the University of Maryland. For the women, it's going to be a tough matchup. Maryland is the best team in the Big Ten, ranked at number 8 nationally. And the men will be trying to continue their winning ways against Maryland next week as well. So that's what we have to look forward to.
Sounds good. Can't wait to get into it next week. Once again, Matthew Coronado and Tyler Haskins. That's it for this week's episode of Basketball Recap.